Well, hello, good morning everybody. Welcome back. Jiujitsu2000 here today. I'm back and I've got an interesting video for you. Today I want to talk about alcohol burners, and the question that comes up quite often is, what do you use for a pot support system for these burners? I'm going to show you a simple pot support system that you can make at home with tools that you probably already have. Hope you enjoy the video. So the first thing that you'll need is some sort of pliers or lineman's pliers, or in this case I have a simple pair of square nose pliers that have cutters on them, okay, because we're going to need to be able to cut the wire. So I got cutters there, and I have a little pair of needle nose here that has a cutter on it. Okay, so just whatever tool you feel like using. Lineman's pliers work really good. Next thing you're going to need is a tape measure. You don't have to have this, but 3 1/4 inches, okay? Obviously you're going to need a steel hanger, a wire hanger. If you got a wire hanger that's coated with plastic or something, you can still use that. However, the plastic might melt, obviously, when you get it around fire. So that's really all you're going to need. The first thing that I recommend that you do is that you take and you cut a piece out. This is going to be around 3 1/4 inches. Okay? This is going to be a gauge that we're going to use. It's basically going to be like a template almost. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some baling wire or floral wire, whatever kind of wire you have that's thinner than this clothes hanger wire. We're going to make 2 of these that are twice as long. So just like that, and then you fold it down. That's how you get your length roughly. So what is that, 6 1/2 inches? Something like that. Give or take a little bit, okay? It doesn't have to be exact. But we're going to make 2 of those with the thinner wire. And this is going to be the wire that we use to put the pieces together. Next thing that we're going to do is we're going to make 3 of these. We're going to use this 3 1/4 inches tall, 3 1/4 inches wide, and then again 3 1/4 inches down. We're going to make 3 of these. Once we have 3 of these put together, we're going to take 2 of them, and this is the part where it gets kind of important. We're going to take this wire right here, just like this, and we're going to just twist it around one side. Nothing crazy, folks. Don't get too crazy on here. Make sure that this is kind of loose. You don't want the wire to be like crazy tight. Otherwise it's going to be hard to get these to open and close. Okay, so we're just going around. When you get to the bottom, you can kind of get a little tighter, and then use your pliers to just kind of push that down and kind of seal it off. Just like this. Nothing crazy. Same thing with the top. We want to kind of terminate the top here, so we're going to just pull this wire down a little bit, something like that. Doesn't have to be anything crazy. Don't get too technical on it, folks. We're just making a wire pot stand, that's all. It'll be very simple. So just like that. So we have this piece right here established. That's the first part that we make. Okay, then you want to make sure that it opens and closes very freely, and then you might want to adjust the length so that the tops are the same length, just like that. Now we're going to add the next one, the third piece. So we'll just let that fall. We're going to add it right here. So it's the same exact thing. We're going to just take that wire and just start wrapping that baby up. Again, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. It's a very simple process. Very easy to make. Don't overthink it. Pretty simple. Just like that. Nothing crazy. Again, when you get to the bottom, just kind of work that a little tighter. And I'm not saying tight around the wire. I'm saying tight as far as the distance between the wraps here, because obviously we're running out of real estate here on our wire. So we're going to just crimp that down, and then again, just like before, we're going to come up here to the top, and we're going to terminate this top here. So just like that. Let's just push that around with our fingers, and then when your fingers don't want to do it no more, just use your whatever tool you chose. Just like that. So now you've effectively created a pot support system for your alcohol burner. Now from here you can see that it's not jiving. Just kind of bend this thing until they get to where they're about in the right position. Very simple. Now you can set that down. You light your burner, you set that down, and when you put your pot on top, if you measure from the top of the burner to the bottom of the pot, you should have around 1 inch. And in my opinion, 1 inch is about the sweet spot above the burner head. Okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to test this pot support and see how it works. I've made several of them in the past. Here's another one. And they're very simple. They're very easy to make. There's another. And these they don't weigh nothing. They're very light. Here's one that I made out of only belling wire. This is for very small, light duty, maybe ultra light type stuff. You know, it's the same exact procedure, just using the same wire, belling wire, not coat hanger wire. This one is good for when you have, you know, maybe magnesium pot, or a very small, you know, nesting cup that's only 16 ounces, or something small, something light. You want to make it very, very quick and easy on the trail. So that, it'll still hold some of the larger pots, but it gets a little bit wobbly, especially when you put the weight of the water in there. Now I will say that I have used this carefully and boiled 1 liter of water over this before. So I'm not recommending that though. These other ones that are a little stronger I think would be more suited for that. Okay, I've got this full of fuel. Let me go ahead and fire it up. It'll take it a little bit of time to get primed up, and in the meantime I've got 16 ounces of water here. I'm going to go ahead and pour this water into my pot. 16 ounces. This water is room temperature right now, and we're going to take the pot support that we just made in this video. We're going to set it right over top of the burner. Just close the back legs a little bit. We'll set the pot right, let me close this real quick. Set the pot right on top of the pot support, and let's start our time. We'll let our time go. And now we're going to see how long it takes to boil 16 ounces of water. That is the perfect distance for the pot to be above the burner. We are approaching the 2-minute mark, so let's take a look here and see what we're looking at. Showing a little bit of signs. You got a little steam coming off, but nothing too crazy just yet. We're only 2 minutes in. I'm starting to hear the water making sound, like boiling sounds, but it's not boiling yet. But you can see obviously that this pot support system is plenty strong to hold that pot. So we're at the 3-minute mark. I'm seeing a little bit of steam, but we're not boiling yet. Look at that. That's a pretty good view there. So you can see that the angle of the or should I say the height of the bottom of the pot is perfect. You know, it's 1 inch above the burner. We're approaching the 4-minute mark. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what we got going on. A little bit of heat showing. Starting to get close. We're almost there. This is pretty good for an alcohol stove. And you might be wondering what type of fuel are we using today. We're using the yellow bottle of heat. I don't use the red bottle of heat. It's got too many additives in it, so I use this yellow bottle. This is found in the automotive section of the store. Sounds like we're barely starting to boil. We're at the 5-minute mark. Let me take a look. We have a light boil. Let me go ahead and show you that. We have a very light boil at the 5-minute mark, but I want a heavy rolling boil. See, so that's actually a pretty good boil. So 5:15. That 15 seconds from the 5-minute mark to now has really done good. So look at the back here. You can see I have a lot of steam and stuff coming out of the back of the pot. So we are definitely at a heavy rolling boil. Let me stop the time. I'm going to call that 5.5 minutes. And we are obviously at a very heavy rolling boil. So this water is completely purified. So there's a couple of ways that you can put your stove out. You can use one of these little snuffers. These work pretty good. Just pop it up there and it knocks the stove out. Another option for putting the stove out is just to take an empty pot and put it over, and it'll smother the flame. And so that's another option. So folks, I want to say thank you for joining me today on this video on how to make this very simple but yet very effective pot support for an alcohol burner. It doesn't cost anything if you have the materials at home. Very simple tools, very easy, and as you can see, quite effective. So I hope you got some good useful information out of this video. I want to say thank you again for joining me today. Please feel free to leave your comments down below, like this video, share this video, and as always, thank you for stopping by. I hope you have a beautiful day. We'll see you later.